Are you nearing retirement and considering hanging it up early? You just need to know for sure if you can do that. We're going to explain how to know if you can retire early in 5 simple steps in this video.
So a lot of people in this current 2020 climate that's been a bit of a crazy year are either being forced to take early retirement or are considering retiring early because they don't want to put their health in jeopardy by returning to the office, or they don't want to deal with all the changes that are coming. And so they're considering retiring a little earlier than they had planned. So before you make any decisions, go through this 5-step checklist to make sure it's something you can even do. So step number 1 is work out your monthly budget.
That's right, Amber. I can tell you this is the number one thing that most people have no clue when they're thinking of retiring. I can ask someone, what is your 401k balance? What is your TSP balance? What will your Social Security benefits be? What kind of pension will you get? They know all of that. And then I say, great, how much money do you need each year to maintain your lifestyle in retirement? Crickets. They have no clue. It's not that tough, right? You can start with what you're spending today. Figure out, will you have a mortgage in retirement or not? Do you want to travel in retirement? Let's figure that out. We got to start with that. What will you be spending in retirement? We have to know that amount before we can tell you if you can retire or not.
Which actually takes us to step number 2, because one thing that people don't consider is what they will do about healthcare before age 65. So that is step number 2. Look at your options. Do you know what your healthcare options are if you retire early?
So Medicare kicking in at 65. If you want to retire at 62 or 63 or 64, you do have options, okay? First of all, if you are forced into early retirement, part of the severance package may be that your employer will cover your health insurance premiums until Medicare kicks in. Otherwise, just retiring voluntarily at, say, 63 or 64, you may be able to continue under your employer plan. It's that way for federal government employees who retire before 65. They can keep on the government plan until Medicare kicks in for them. If you're going to retire within 18 months of turning 65, then COBRA is an option through your employer where you just have to pay the full freight of your health insurance, but you still get the plan.
So another option is the state exchange or Obamacare. You could get a subsidy for that based on your income. So that is something you could definitely look into if your employer benefits are no longer going to be an option for you. So the last option you could look into is Christian Health Share Ministry.
So what that is it's not health insurance per se, but it's a group of like-minded individuals who are exempt from the Obamacare mandates. They don't have to cover certain things, and so they're much more affordable. A good short-term solution for some of our clients.
So once you have health insurance figured out, move on to step number 3, which is a written retirement plan. Now, this is something that we really push with all of our clients.
You know, Amber, we did a video earlier that said 3/4 of people retiring have not done that. They haven't taken time to put this all on paper and make sure they can do it. A written retirement income plan will show you where your money is going to come from for the next 30 years and where it's going to go. And do they match up? Can you actually afford to retire now instead of waiting another 2, 3, or 5 years?
Our masterclass explains what an optimal retirement income plan looks like and how you can implement that.
So if you haven't watched it, take the time to do that. And then if you'd like us to help you set it up, you could click on the link to become one of our clients. But again, you cannot proceed without this. If you haven't done anything up to this point, you've got to get the retirement income plan before we move on to steps number 4 and 5.
So step number 4 is to test out your plan.
So your plan, we could run different scenarios, right? If you have a basic income plan, we can run different scenarios for, do you want to spend more in the first 5 years so you can have more travel budget? Do you have a mortgage that may be paid off in the first few years of retirement that we want to account for? But the second thing you can do, Amber, is just start living on that budget, right? Most people will have slightly less income in retirement than while they're working. So start living on that. Spend a couple of months before you put in your notice at work. Spend a couple of months living on that amount each month to make sure you can do it. And it's a reasonable amount.
So make sure that works for you before proceeding to step number 5. So step number 5 is to work with an advisor. Now, an advisor can help you not only implement these steps, but make sure that you're staying on track.
That's right. A good advisor should also be able to fill in the gaps of this plan, right? Once we have income, there's still other considerations. How do we minimize taxes? Do we need to plan for long-term care as you age? Will you spend all of your money in retirement or not? If not, how do you pass that to your beneficiaries at the lowest possible tax rate as well?
So again, if you have questions with any of these things, you can click on the link in the description and apply to be one of our clients.
Because you can make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Plan now to retire happy.